Welcome everyone in lecture number 20 of Unit 5, and in this lecture we will discuss the properties of recursive and recursive enumerable languages. Till now we know that for recursive language we have a Turing machine that gives the result in yes and no. Both. If W belong to L, we will get the result in yes, and if W does not belong to L, we will get the no, either in accept or reject or in yes and no. For recursive enumerable language, we know about only yes. So look at some properties. Every recursive language is recursive enumerable. So we know that we have a recursive language, then we have a Turing machine. L is a recursive language having Turing machine, say M1. So we have a Turing machine M1, for which if we give a W as an input, we will get the answer in yes and no. If we have a Turing machine that can give the answer in yes, so we can design a Turing machine for recursive enumerable language also, because in recursive enumerable language we have Turing machine that can give answer in yes only. So we can have TM, say M2 for L that give result in yes and that give result in, so L is recursive, so it will give result in yes and no. Yes and no. So we can get the result in yes by modifying this Turing machine as M1. It is M1, it is M2, and for those input, those are accepted in M1, these all will be accepted in M2 also. So M2 is a recursive enumerable language, so we can get the yes as a result for M2. Second question is that the complement of recursive language is also recursive. L is recursive language having TM M1 that give, or you can say that accept, give result in yes for W belong to L and no for W does not belong to L. So we have a Turing machine M1. If W belong to L, it give answer in yes, otherwise it give in no. So we can have Turing machine M2 for the complement of L1, so complement of L that is L bar is equal to all string minus L. This is complement of L that give result in no if W belong to L and yes if W does not belong to L. So we can design a Turing machine that work reverse of it. We can design Turing machine for this is for L1 and this is for L and this is for L bar. We have a Turing machine M2. So if W belong to L, it will give result in yes. So that M2 will give result in no. If W does not belong to L, M1 will give result in no. Then M2 will give result in yes. So we have a result in yes and no. So it is also recursive. If L is recursive enumerable, we have a answer in yes for L and L bar is also recursive enumerable. So we have answer in yes for L dash also. Then L is recursive. So TM halt for inputs that belong to L and TM halts for input that belong to L bar. So it means that TM is always halting. So there is no loop. We will always get an answer in yes and no. So if M1 is for L and M2 is for L and it is for L bar, and if we give a W and W belong to L, then it will give yes as it is recursive enumerable, and if W belong to L bar, it will give yes. So we can design a Turing machine M for language L. M for language L. If W belong to L, it will give yes. If W does not belong to L, it will give no. Whatever given yes for belong to L bar. So if W does not belong to L, it will give a no for this language. So if we give a W that belong to language, it means it give yes for it and it give no for this language. So we can design a new Turing machine for it. For any W that belong to language, it does not belong to this and it will give answer in no. Let's look another question. If L1 and L2 are recursive, then L1 union L2 is also recursive. So we have a Turing machine for L1, that is M1, and for a input it give answer in yes and no. For union we need answer either yes from M1 or either a yes from M2. So we will get either yes from this or this. So we can design a Turing machine. If we get yes from this Turing machine, we will get yes, or if we get yes from this Turing machine, it will give no. In union case, it will be accepted in any Turing machine. If it is rejected from first, then if it accept from second, it will give output as a yes. If it is rejected from first and rejected from second also, then we will get no. If the same input is provided to M2, if we provide the input here and it is accepted from first Turing machine, then it is accepted. If it is rejected from first Turing machine and accepted by second, then it is also accepted. If it is rejected from first and rejected and accepted from and rejected from second also, then it is rejected from both. So this Turing machine is for L1 union L2. We say it is a M. It is M1, it is M2, then it is M. If L1 and L2 is recursive, then L1 intersection L2 is also recursive. It means that input will be accepted if it is accepting in both language. So if we have a M1 for language L1 and we have a M2 for language L2 and we provide a input W here. If it is accepted from first, then we provide same input to second Turing machine, and it is also accepted from second, then it is accepted from the intersection L1 intersection L2, Turing machine for L1 intersection L2. If it is rejected from first, it means it is rejected. If it is accepted from first and rejected from second, it means it is rejected. So in any case, it should be accepted from both. In case of union, it should be rejected from both Turing machine, then it is rejected. Either it will accept from first or second. In intersection case, either it will be rejected from first or rejected from second. It should be accepted from both. If L1 and L2 are recursive enumerable, then L1 union L2 is also recursive enumerable. And we know that in recursive enumerable we know only about yes. So if we provide an input, this is language L1 and we have a Turing machine M1, and this is language L2 and we have a Turing machine M2, and we provide an input to both. So we design a Turing machine for L1 union L2, that is M. So either it will accept from this or it is accept from this. So it will be accepted from M. M is for L1 union L2. So in union, a input should be accepted from either this or this. If L1 and L2 are recursive enumerable, then L1 intersection L2 is also recursive enumerable. So if we have a Turing machine M1 for L1 and we have a Turing machine M2 for L2, so in the intersection it should be accepted from both, then it will be accepted from L1 union L1 intersection L2. So we can design a M from for L1 intersection L2 if W is accepted from first, and after accepting from first it should be accepted from second also, then it is accepted from the M. So we can design a we can design a Turing machine for L1 intersection L2. We can design a Turing machine for L1 union L2 for recursive enumerable. We can design Turing machine for recursive language for L1 union L2. If it is accepted from first or second, it is accepted. If it is rejected from both, then it is rejected. In case of intersection, it should be accepted from both first and second, or either it will be rejected from first or second. So we will get yes and no here. In this case, if we get yes for recursive language, then we are getting yes for the recursive enumerable language also. We are not sure about this no. So it is rejected from M1, so it may be in loop for M2. Here, if L is recursive, then L bar is recursive. So we are getting yes from here. So L bar we will get no. If we are getting no for L, then we will get yes for L bar. So we can design if L is recursive and L bar is recursive, it means that we are getting answer from both Turing machine, for L and for L bar. So if it is accepted from M1, so we will get yes. It is accepted for M2, for L bar we can get no. So it is a recursive language. L is a recursive. So in this way, we have these properties for recursive and recursive enumerable languages. Thanks for attending the lecture.